It's sad that Xbox as a console is so bad that fanboys now have to cheer for it being a publisher just to try to get a W. It's pathetic. This is a statement that's probably designed to fanboy. I almost can guarantee you that this is probably a troll account, but it's a good, you know, study at the end of the day. And what I mean by a good study is we can actually try to glean any common sense as to what the heck it is that Xbox and PlayStation are doing when they're moving their games to other platforms to sell. Because, when people say stuff like that, it's like they want to say it and run away, but I catch them. You know when someone's trying to run away and you grab them by the hoodie and say, no, 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 no. What did you say about being a third-party publisher? And then you basically hold their head and say, look, look. And they're like, look at what? They're closing their eyes. They're like, can't you see what's in front of you? They have to run away, though, quickly before you can actually point this stuff out to them. Now, we can sit there and do that all day, or we can just get down to the crux of the matter. Is anybody ready for a calculator? I'm ready for a calculator. Because what I've realized is the calculator is the ultimate, garlic for the vampires of the console war. So, let's take a look at this. Xbox sells you this console, and they've been trying to sell it to you for $499. Yeah, you've had it since the entire generation, right? Every time they sell you that console, they lose about $200 or so between each console sold, which is what they reported, right? Phil Spencer said this. He said that Microsoft loses between 100 and 200 every Xbox Series X and S console sold. So now that they've raised the price of the Series X, they've cut that, margin to $100. They're still losing money on it if that's the case, right? If what he said, 100 to 200. So we're looking maybe the Series S. They've gone ahead and raised that by $70 or $80. So they've cut that, $100 loss a little bit down to maybe 20 because it's a very valuable, console to get into their ecosystem, which is the best valuable ecosystem in terms of the consumer out here. And so they're still losing $100 every time they sell you this thing. So each Xbox Series X they sell is negative $100. Then they have to now wait for you, right, to now buy games and services to the point where they can then make up that money, which can take a while. If you go and look at Matt Piscatella's data set, you'll realize that the way gamers are behaving, a lot of them are going to jump into free-to-play games. A lot of them are going to jump into either playing older games. Then some of them are going to buy games regularly, and a smaller portion will buy games frequently. So this $100 is going to be an eyesore, like marketing, sweat, and everything. So if Xbox right now turned around and sold 20 million units, they got to figure out a way to make up negative $200 million of consoles sold at a loss of about $100, give or take. And I'm judging from this article right here, right? Unless, of course, you guys want to tell me that Xbox has sold enough consoles to be able to reduce that deficit. I mean, if you're saying that, then it must mean that Xbox has sold more consoles then. So y'all got to have to choose. So let's stick with y'all's 30 million number that you guys want to die on a hill for. That number I like. So this is what Xbox is basically in the deficit for if they sold you all these consoles. Now check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Spencer looks and said, hold on. When we were getting bodied by PlayStation back in the day, right? What we did was we went to the Steam store and we started selling our games. In doing that, we farmed money and only had to pay out about 30% for the storefront fees. So for every title that we sold, right? If we say maybe we sold it for an average of $50, we only paid Steam 30% of that money and we paid them $15. So $45 came into us as revenue. What if we sold? Are you seeing it? Did you just see what are you seeing it? Right? What if we sold 20 million pieces of software? We have $900 million. When you juxtapose that and compare it to negative $200 million, any individual, child, human being who is aware of the reality of mathematics will say, pick the one on the right. Oh, sorry. Did I say negative 200 million? Sorry, this was negative 2 billion. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Sorry. I apologize for the math mistake. I lost a zero here. I'm sure you guys were yelling. I'm so sorry for causing you such emotional pain. So Xbox looks and says negative 2 billion to try to recoup those costs versus plus 900 million. We pay fees and we're straight up cutting out profits at the end of the day. Which one would you take? You know what? Let's do an experiment. I'm going to pause the video, right? And I'm going to basically think about it. Then I'm going to unpause the video, and I'm sure by then you would have gotten an answer, okay? I really want us to think about this. I'm sure your mind is made up. If I took this screenshot right now and I made a thumbnail with it, I would not be out of line. Because again, you see, people will say this stuff, right? They'll say this kind of stuff. They'll say, oh, the console is just so bad that now their own people have to basically cheer for the console, cheer for them as a third-party publisher when the console is so bad just because a lot of these people, they enjoy the brain rot of the console war. So while I'm here telling you about this, I will draft up the thumbnail for this particular video, and we're going to basically call it Gaming Math, and we'll publish this video, and we'll end the conversation there. Does that make sense? I need some text. Let's go ahead and get this stuff going. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this video and you make content, you need to get into Canva. Canva beats all of your photo editing software many days. Okay, let's call it Gaming Math. And you guys are probably going to be seeing, God willing, this thumbnail on this particular video. You're going to be wondering, what? Gaming Math, let's get the color to be an intimidating color. Is red going to work? Ooh, that's crazy. Ooh, don't you just love it? There we go. And that's it. End of video. Is there any reason for us to continue to talk about this stuff anymore? Right? So this person that's saying it's sad that Xbox as a console is so bad, a console proposition for the publisher and the platform holder has always been bad because they lose money on it. Saying the fanboys now have to cheer for it being the publisher is just pathetic when the other guys are also taking the same exact approach, knowing that if they themselves, called PlayStation, can also sell you 20 million units of their game license, they can also, according to Shuei Yoshida, print money. Even I recommend this particular paradigm to PlayStation themselves. This sadness that this commenter takes into account, I recommend that PlayStation engage more in this line of sadness. Yes, this is the kind of sadness that PlayStation needs and PlayStation wants and PlayStation is pursuing while on a PC platform and on the Nintendo Switch platform. Simple. Thank you so much for watching the video. Appreciate you all so much. Peace out.